Hello, Facelandia, and coming to you live from channel WBOA from Santa Cruz, California. This is the 30-day Unleash the Dragon Challenge. Welcome, and I'm your host, Stephen Macramala. Okay, let's get started. Well, actually, just let's wait a second, make sure everything's okay. Lights, camera, everything's working all right. We're starting a little bit early today. I forgot that I had an appointment later on at around 5:30, so, well, 5 o'clock actually. I'll show up late, but just thought I'd start earlier. All right, well, let's get into it. The things look like they're on, all working out. Okay, so welcome to our day 29 of our 30-day Unleash the Challenge. This is very exciting. We're at the near end here. Today what we're going to do is do Earth Dragon. We'll do the Boa and the Tiger, and we'll introduce another exercise that's called the Feminine Pumps. So let's get into it. A lot of material to cover today. All right, so starting off with our shaking exercise. So rattling the bones of the foot like they are a maraca, and getting the foot in front, behind, to the side of you, shin bones, up into the thigh, good, other foot, shin bones, there we go. And up to the thigh, letting the vibrations of the leg travel through the rest of the body. Good. And then, chubby checkers, and coming down, wiggly bum, and up. Come on down, and up, and come on down, and up, come on down. There you go. And alternating one knee and then the other. Shake, rattle, and roll. Letting go of any unnecessary tension. And then with both legs. And flicking exercise. Standing, feeling your body, and release any unnecessary tension. And let's go through the basic breaths, revisiting the cocoon and the golden spiral. And relaxing, connecting to the earth, connecting to the elements of the earth, and breathing in. Oh, sorry, let's do it properly. So connecting to the energy ball below your feet, and feel a strand of energy wrapping around your body. I just do it automatically, so I sometimes just skip right over it and anyway, so wrapping the energy around your body, let it connect to a sphere of energy above your head, and then wrapping another strand in the opposite direction, spiraling around your body, going upwards, connecting to the ball of energy above your head, and imbuing that line of energy, that cocoon of energy, with the ability to allow in things that you need and to keep out the things that you don't need. And so feeling that, and then taking a moment, feeling the golden spiral going up the midline of the body. So feel the cocoon, hold the cocoon, And in the middle of the cocoon, find the spiral. And let's just take a moment and have both. Feel the spiral spinning. Good. And now what we're going to do is inhale and make the spiral larger. And as it gets larger, it continues to spin. And it's like the car wash brush, brushing stuff away as it spins. You're just clearing refuse and wasted energy. Breathing in. Exhaling. As you inhale, the spiral gets larger. As you exhale, it stays at its new enlarged size. Good. The spiral gets large enough that it's brushing the inside of the cocoon. And then exhale, let the spiral shrink down to its original size. Keep the cocoon. And let's do the basic breaths. And cleansing breath. Stand, feel your body, connect with the cocoon, connect with the spiral. And we're going to do the prana shake here. And connect. Again, like we did yesterday when we're doing the shaking exercise, feel like you're shaking not just your body and your own spine and cerebral spinal fluid and spinal column, but feel like you're shaking the energy system of the cocoon and the spiral around you. Hello, welcome. I started early. Sorry I didn't give enough notice. I'll know better next time. Thanks for joining. And who's that? Hello, Maria. Hello. Oh, look, I'm going to wave. There we go. Okay. So we'll get into this. So we'll do the shaking exercise, the prana shake. And feeling the cocoon and the spiral going up the midline of the body. And breathing in. Stand and feel your body. Good stuff. Excellent. Okay, so let's get into the boa and the tiger for the earth dragon. And let's take a little moment. Let's practice the melon breathing. Yeah, so we'll focus on the melon at the bottom and just feel front and back. And so when you inhale into your lower back and your lower abdomen. Feel the melon spinning, so it's going down the back, up the front. Relax the upper torso. Good. We'll do a little exercise with the melon here. So we're going to inhale, front and back. Fill up the melon, front and back, like we've been doing. And then we're going to, you fill it in, you fill it up. But don't breathe in to your full capacity. Breathe in a little bit, fill up the lower melon, and then as you continue to inhale, roll that melon up the body, front and back. On the inhale, then on the exhale, roll the melon down, front and back on the exhale. All right, so you inhale a little bit, front and back at the bottom, then continue to inhale and roll the melon up the front and the back, up to just underneath your collarbones. Finish inhaling, and then as you exhale, roll the melon back down. So rolling the melon up on the in-breath, and then rolling the melon down on the out-breath. And just check in here. There we are, all right, okay. So again, I have to apologize. I've forgotten that I had a 5 o'clock appointment. I'm gonna show up to that appointment a little bit late, but I thought it would also help if I started a little bit early, and I forgot to give notice about that. So I apologize about if this confusion of starting 15 minutes earlier caused any confusion. My apologies about that. Okay, so let's do the melon breathing. So breathing into the front and the back. And then as you continue to inhale, roll the melon up. And then finish inhaling, and the melon has rolled all the way to the top. Feel the melon is still spinning. So it's rising up the front and going down the back. And then keep it spinning, going up the front, right, going down the back, as you roll the melon down. So feel the melon continue to spin, up the front, down the back, inhale, and continue inhaling as you roll the melon up. And exhale. One more time, and exhale. Okay, we'll do it a few more times, but just to give you a description or fill in why the exercise is useful and important, and for example, what I'm feeling when I'm doing the exercise is that that visualization of spinning the melon as it rolls up and checking at each section encourages me to check in at the different milestones, the different centers, the different areas of my posture. When I'm spinning the melon down here, it reminds me to relax my lower back and let the tailbone drop to the floor. And it allows me to think of the thoracic erectors, the deep abdominal muscles that lift your lumbar spine, that lift your thoracic spine as you're spinning the melon upwards in the front. And then as I roll the melon up a little bit higher, again, I have that feeling of expanding the rib cage, but also relaxing the back muscles of any unnecessary tension. So there's this feeling of, as the melon is rolling down at the back, the tension is like a mudslide falling down. And as I feel the melon through the front and the back of my rib cage, I have a sense of my ribs being stacked on my lumbar spine, on top of my pelvis. Then, as I continue to roll the melon up higher to my chest cavity, I have the same sort of reminder of lifting all of the front of my spine long, and I get a sense also of spreading and releasing tension and unnecessary tension between my shoulder blades and down my back. So again, I get that sense of like a mudslide of tension dropping down. And I get a sense of my entire rib cage stacked on top of my abs, stacked on top of my pelvis. So that for me is what the visualization of the melon reminds me to do. Okay? So let's try it a few more times. And of course, we've talked about this before, but when you do the boa bow, you're being moved by this wave of breath traveling through your body, and the melon rolling up your body and then back down your body is what generates the motion of your body and of your arms in the bow. Okay, so let's try it a few more times. And breathing in, lower back, lower abdomen, and keep inhaling. And spin the melon up your body, goes up the front and down the back. Release tension, especially at your back, so that it's like, again, a mudslide just falling down, like an avalanche. And exhale, roll the melon down. Stacking your rib cage down onto your pelvis. One more time. One more time. Good. Okay. And just stand, feel what your body feels like. And I feel like I have a lot more openness in my chest, a lot more space in the cavity of my body. And just for those who've joined in, my apologies again. We started a little bit earlier today. I forgot, and I had something on my schedule, and I forgot to give a notice about starting 15 minutes earlier today. So I apologize for any inconvenience that may cause. Okay, so today what we're going to do is earth dragon animals and introduce the feminine pumps. So let's get into it. Let's get into boa. We'll do the boa bow. Keep feeling that melon of breath. Rolling up and then rolling down. Connect to your sense of the unconscious, connect to your sense of empathy, and feel like with your empathy, you can draw energy in, yes, but you can also send feelings out, okay? And dropping down. Dropping down and breathing in starting at the bottom, at the depth of unconscious awareness. You're raising waves of empathic awareness up and around you, like waves emanating out in concentric circles, dropping down. Calming the space around you, stilling the space around you. Good. And let's do a little boa movement. And what we did butterfly blocks, which is fun to do, so let's do that. So doing it from the side here. So you have, dropping down, and you curl up, and again you have that melon quality going, so you're rolling up the melon up the body. That raises the arms, and then you settle down on yourself as you're exhaling, and you press against a wall, and you do the boa push, where you don't push the wall over, you push yourself away from the wall. And dropping down. Let's shuffle feet a little bit, so change your step. After you finish pushing yourself away from your invisible wall, let the hands just turn palm down to the ground and bring the front foot in, send the back foot out to the front. Then the hands, the wrists, the fingers, the wrists, the elbows cross. Come up, let the elbows drop down, press, hit your invisible wall, push away. Excellent. So, just to give you a little taste of the boa. Okay. And so we can move forward with tiger. Does anybody have any questions or any requests besides Yellow Submarine? Hello, Paula. Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for joining us. Is that Maureen? Hello, Maureen. Hope everything is well. Pamela, hello, Pamela. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And so, I don't see any questions popping up, so I guess we'll go forward with the tiger. And so, standing, so relinquishing, letting go of the gentle boa, and feeling the mantle of the tiger come on. And ready, breathe in, and exhale. Triangle at the belly, and flip the triangle, and stand, good. Feel your tiger, feel your connection to your heart, the power of your physical body, your heart, your analytical mind. Feel the power of your concentration. Connect to the tectonic plates of the earth. And let's do a little bit of tiger form work, tiger movements. And we'll do the drop and claw. Ready? And inhale and drop in one shot. And exhale in high tension. And bring the hands in. And exhale, punch, double punch. And bring it in. And let's do a 1-2 punch. So, and then we'll block straight up. Good. And bring your hands together. Hop the feet together. And stand. Feel your body. And let's do that one more time. Feeling the mantle of the earth. Feeling the musculature of the tiger. Ready? And inhale in one shot. And drop down. And exhale. And bring the hands in. And bring them in. And punch up. Block up rather. Good. And feel what your body feels like. So these motions are taken from tiger punching form, so they're actually part of a larger form. We're not going to do the whole thing, but I wanted to give you a taste of an actual form. Okay? And feel your body. Feel the musculature of the tiger. One more time for good luck. And double punch. And block up. Good. And feel your body. That's good. So that's where our boa, our tiger. Now we're going to bring them together into Earth Dragon. And I'm sweating. All right. And so feel the softness of the boa, and within it, the burning ember, the burning spark of the tiger within it. And then when you do tiger, let the spark grow and consume, expand, and then on the inside, feel the soft coolness of the boa. And so taking a moment, feel the boa. And dropping down, softening. Feel with boa that you're expanding and expanding and expanding. You're expanding to the ends of the galaxy. The end. You've expanded so much that you've got nowhere left to go, and so there's this collapse and this implosion which begins tiger. And there, at the smallest point of the contraction, that's where the tiger starts. And triangles. And triangle. And one more time. And dropping down. Expanding. Soft. You've expanded as much as you can. It's now collapsing on itself, and you're starting to contract in tiger. And you contract and contract and contract in tiger until the contraction is so intense, it creates an explosion, and then that explosion pushes energy out, and it becomes the boa again. And expanding and expanding and expanding in boa, sending your waves of empathic awareness out, out, further, ever out, until they're just stretched so much, it starts to break and starts to contract in on itself, which starts the tiger. And stand. And feel the dichotomy, feel the complement of the soft boa, like a big bowl reaching out in all directions, and then from inside the center of the bowl, the linear focus of the tiger. And release. So that's the Earth Dragon Bow, and what we're going to do today is introduce and talk about the feminine pumps. There's a lot. The feminine pumps is a really great exercise. It's advanced qigong, energetic, yoga-ish work. And we're only gonna have today and tomorrow. But please, if you like the exercise, these videos will be archived on this Facebook page, and you can come back to them anytime. So we'll learn how to do them, and the video will be recorded, and then you can come back anytime if you just want to brush up on the instruction or fix a missing piece or something. And of course, if you ever have any questions about any of these exercises from the beginning of the challenge, please feel free to message me through Facebook. I think I have my email somewhere available, but you can always message me and I'll send you my email, and then you can ask me questions through email if you prefer that. So don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so let's do the feminine pumps. So with the pumps, we're going to need to talk about the central column of the membrane. So we talked a little bit about the pumps yesterday, the context of the sub-earth dragon. So you have the pumps of the limbs, and you have the membranes of the torso. And we can review let's review it all. So it's very similar to that direction in the Black Panther, where you focus on the yin side, the soft side, the inside of each of the joints, especially on the exhale, where you deepen and lengthen the inside of the joint. So on the exhale, you're kind of doing this deep contraction in the armpit, the elbows, and the palms of the hands. On the inhale, you're softening, and as you're softening, it's like the diaphragm relaxing. It allows air and energy in. And there was this peristaltic pumping quality. So you can soften, whatever order really. But let's say I soften here, it allows air in. I soften here, it brings more air up. I soften in here, it allows more air up. And then when I exhale and contract, I deepen the groove and elongate it here, and then here, and then here. And by doing it in that sequence, it's like a toothpaste tube. It just gradually pushes the air out. And you're doing that with each of the limbs. And now what we're going to do is talk about the membranes. So the pumps are in the peripheral limbs, and the membranes are in the central axis. And they're energetic and physical in concept. So they match. There's a physical and energetic match that happens. So you have the perineum, which is not exactly a diaphragm, but it essentially works like a diaphragm. And it's basically the trampoline that bounces your internal organs back up into your body. Very convenient, so they don't just fall out. So you have the bottom membrane. You have one at the pubic bone, one at the belly button, one at the xiphoid process at the heart, and then another one, a diagonal, at your throat. Basically, if you were like guillotined perfectly at your collarbones, it would be at that level on a slight diagonal. And then you have the crown. Now the crown's a little bit different. You have at the top of the head you have one, but you also have two front and back, third eye area, and back of the brainstem. And there's a similar kind of alternation that happens. So you have these, when you inhale, some membranes go down, some membranes go up, and they alternate in whether they go down and up. That's the general pattern from the bottom to the top. And so if you have the perineum at the bottom, and you have the one at the pubic bone, and when you inhale, the perineum goes down, the pubic bone one goes up. And so this we call the membrane package, and it expands. So the bottom one expands. Now you have a heart one and the belly button, pubic bone and the belly button one. And so when you inhale, the pubic bone went up. We alternate, so the one at the belly button is going to go down. So I have this package here between the pubic bone and the belly button, and on the same in-breath where the perineum package is expanding, this belly button package is contracting. Okay? So when you inhale, each perineum, there's a switch off, there's an alternation in the direction that the membrane is going. So the bottom one goes down on the in-breath, and then the next one up goes up, the next one up goes down, the next one up goes up, the next one up goes down. And what that means, and when you look at the spaces between the membranes, those membrane packages, there's an alternation. The bottom one's getting larger on the in-breath, the next one up is getting smaller on the in-breath. The next one up is getting larger on the in-breath, and the next one up is getting smaller on the in-breath. There's a lot going on there, and it takes a bit of time and practice to get comfortable with it. And what you can do is just focus on one package at a time when you're starting. That's perfectly fine. The long run result and benefit of doing the exercise is that everybody has little habits when they move or when they breathe, where one part of the body just like relaxes and collapses. And what the alternation of the packages does when you're paying attention to them is that it makes you aware of those areas that you sort of tune out, become blind to, those areas of your body that fall asleep normally while you're just even simply breathing. So for example, for me, and everybody's different, when I pay attention especially to like the bottom, the pubic bone, perineum, pubic bone, belly button, belly button, heart, right around this area, I notice, especially on the exhale, if as I'm inhaling and contracting, pressing down here on this all the way around, it makes me aware of the middle section of my lat muscles, the middle section of my spinous erectus muscles. It makes you aware of your entire column and pillar of your torso. It's really demanding, like concentration-wise, and when you first started off, it's almost overwhelming. But after a little bit of practice, it just amplifies and makes your awareness of your entire body sort of permanently leveled up. You just won't have the same body that you had before. Now, of course, it's not enough to just keep doing the breathing. You do have to integrate it with whatever exercises or movement that you're doing with to really make it part of your everyday practice and skill set. but it will definitely expand your body image, your motoric maps beyond anything before, anything previously you've ever done. Okay, it's a really good exercise. Okay, and of course I've said that of every exercise we've done. All right, call me biased. All right, so let's focus on each of these membranes. So each of the membrane packages. So we'll inhale the perineum and the pubic bone. And what it feels like is like when you're blowing on a bubble. You know, you dip your little circle thing into a bottle of soap and you pull it out and you blow on it gingerly so as to create a kind of tension. Now, it's a little bit more resilient. You know, it's tendon, it's fascia, it's muscle, so it's more resilient than a soap bubble, but you're still just giving it enough push, a slight amount of push, so it's not a heavy contraction, okay? And so you're pulling, you're pushing the bottom out, and again, yes, most of the area of the perineum pulls out, except for the tension around the anal sphincter, and you just hold that lightly, okay? And so that goes down as you inhale, and the pubic bone comes up as you inhale. So when you inhale, it expands, and then as you exhale, it contracts. And you're feeling this all the way around, right? So front and back, side to side, all the way around, something's going lower, your perineal membrane is going down, and all the way around, the membrane around the pubic bone is rising up. Rising up, you know, with the contraction of the diaphragm. And exhale. Good. Good. All right, let's come up. Pubic bone, belly button. And just a little footnote. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and I do it. And it's a good practice, and I get a lot of stuff out of it. But I never really thought that there was much to it in terms of physiological, analogs. You know, there's no physical thing connected to the energetic imagery. And then, you have your diaphragm up here, you have the visceral tissue that connects your internal organs around here, you do have the perineum down here. But then it turns out, I was looking through Thomas Myers' Anatomy Train's book, and near the end in the appendices is one of Thomas Myers' colleagues. I think she was working at Ida Rolf's Institute, but she had these additional diagrams that Thomas Myers included, and there they were, these bands of connective tissue at the same locations. So there's something going on, which is cool. And yeah, oh my God. All right. It's quite something when you have to wait like 20 years to see something that confirms or echoes what you've learned somewhere else. All right, so now pubic bone, belly button. Breathing in, it gets smaller. And as it exhales, it gets larger. So for me, this is a big one. Because normally when I exhale, I kind of collapse down. And so this was one of those exercises that forced me to think of lengthening, extending, and engaging on my exhale. Let's keep going. So inhaling, where are we? Yeah, inhaling, it gets smaller. Exhaling, it gets larger. Good. One more time. Exhale. Good. All right. Now at the heart. Now here, you're inhaling, it gets larger. Exhale, it gets smaller. here at the throat, the cervical membrane, and the one of the xiphoid process. And as you inhale, it gets smaller. Exhale, it gets larger. Good. And let's do the last one here. So as you're inhaling, so this is going up and this is coming down. And as you exhale, the crown goes up and the throat comes down. Good. Good. Then front and back, third eye and brainstem. Right. No. Sorry. So it's in. These ones always get me. In, it contracts. Exhale, it extends. Front to back does the opposite. As it exhales, it contracts. And as it inhales, it extends. So they do the opposite. So it's inhale, out, front and back. As you inhale, it's in, up and down. And then as you exhale, in and out. And there's a lot going on there. Let's do it a little bit. So inhale, throat and crown of the head come closer together. And as you exhale, throat and crown of the head go away from each other. Inhale, throat and crown of the head come together. Exhale, throat and crown of the head go apart. Good. And then front and back. So inhale, third brow of the head and the brainstem go apart. And as you exhale, brow and brainstem come together. Good. The lower diaphragms up to the cervical, like including the cervical, they're more fixed. They do that pattern of rising and falling with the in-breath and the out-breath in that way pretty regularly. The upper ones are a little bit mobile. They're more susceptible to your will. So you can change the direction depending on what you're trying to do or what feels good. Let's see now. Right. Okay. So let's go up the chain again, let me just think for a second. Usually when people start first doing this, I simply focus on the bottom ones and let go the top ones because it's like juggling 4 balls. You'll drop every one, so let's just juggle 3 or even just 2. So we'll just do the lower ones, okay? The action of breathing into these pumps accompanies a form, a set of movement we call the feminine pumps. So the way that we'll do the breathing of the pumps along with the movement set. I'll take you through it slowly and explain everything step by step. The idea with the feminine pumps is that you're pumping energy and breath through each of the different centers of the body that correspond to a different kind of intelligence. So down in the groin, this is panther, this is instinct, the subconscious, instinct. Up in the body, it's tiger, a little bit higher, it's boa is empathy. You have the throat, which is part of leopard, and then you have the psychic of cobra and the intuition of leopard up higher. And what you're doing as you're doing the exercise and breathing and working and moving energy through those centers is you're connecting them to the earth so that the earth nourishes the feminine aspect of each of those channels of information, each of those information processors. So that's why it's called the feminine pumps. So you're connecting each of those facets of your awareness and your consciousness to, you're empowering the feminine aspect of each of those aspects of consciousness. It's a better way of saying it. And you're connecting them to the earth. The movement itself is not too complicated, but let's go through it. You start off with your hands by your side, and you maybe take a little step out with either leg, turning the legs in. And it's a little bit like Boa, but instead of being lyrical and soft, it's more like you're pushing. It's like you've got hands on your plates on your hands. The plates are facing down, and I'm rotating, I'm spinning the plates as I'm moving them around out from my hips out to either side of my body in front of me. And I'm pushing away with the heel of my palm as much as I'm pushing my back away from my hands. So it starts off breathing in, and I'm breathing in basically to each of the membranes in that alternating contraction expansion pattern. But let's just focus on the bottom one. I'm breathing into my bottom membrane, and we'll just focus on one membrane package at a time. So the bottom membrane, the perineum to the pubic bone, I'm expanding it, and I'm breathing into it. And I'm connecting the feminine aspect of my instinct to the earth. And then I'm going to exhale, and it's going to come, my hands are going to come brush by my kidneys. So this is Manipura, this is my physical center, and I'm going to connect it a little bit to my, again, my pubic bone, my instinct, and I'm going to connect the feminine aspect of my physical intelligence to the earth. Then I'm going to come up, I'm breathing in. Now I'm just going to focus on the space between my heart and my belly button, and I'm expanding that. I'm breathing in, and I take my hands, they're pressing against each other, and I'm taking the fingers so that they point directly at the heart. It's a little bit of it turns and twists a little bit, but even with my palms turned in like this, I'm pressing my elbows towards each other, and that opens up my back. So it causes my back to open up, my shoulder blades to open up sideways. All right, and you're breathing in, and then exhale, scoop through the throat. So this is your communication. Exhale and turn the feet in. Inhale, keep the forearms pressed against each other. Bring the tips of the fingers to the third eye. Point to the brow. And I'm pointing and I'm raising my elbows up and opening them sideways. Breathing into the psychic, and I'm breathing into the feminine aspect of psychic awareness. Breathing in and exhale up over the crown of the head, intuition, back to the brain stem. So this is the subconscious and instinctive wiring. And I open my palm, and then I drop down. And I'm connecting the feminine aspect of instinctive awareness to the earth. And then I come up. I just like relax my arms. I bring them to my heart. And I turn my feet in. And I rise straight up the midline. And then open the arms up. And then when my arms are at shoulder height, I turn the palms down. And exhale. Continue exhaling. So that's one round of the feminine pumps. It's sort of, for most people, it has the effect of unwinding tension, especially in the back. But it just, most people, when they finish doing it, they just sort of feel like they're open, a little bit more vulnerable, a little more raw, if you will. And if that's how you feel, yeah, you're doing it. Okay, so let's do it one more time. And so there's a lot going on there. We'll focus on one membrane package at a time. And breathing in, feet apart, turned in. Rotate the plates as you move them in front of you, pushing your spine away from your hands. Breathe into the lower package, so that's the perineum and the pubic bone. And then as you exhale, turn the feet out, bring the hands round. And deep sumo stance as you exhale, connecting the feminine aspect of your instinct and your physical body, your physical intelligence to the earth. Turn the feet in, inhale, keep pressing the forearms together, press the palms together as the elbows go out to the side, point your fingers to the heart, breathe into the package between the throat and your heart, front and back, side to side. And then as you exhale, press, contract that, the heart membrane and the throat membrane together as you scoop. Feet turned out, deep stance. And then keep pressing the forearms together, rise up, turn the feet in, press the hands together, point to the brow, the point between the eyes. Breathe in deep. And up over the crown of the head. And up the midline. Open. Feet are turned in, and then when you get to shoulder height, the palms turn down, the feet turn out. And drop down. One more time with feeling. And breathing in. Exhale. Up over the top of the head. And up the center line. Feet are turned in, then when your hands get down to shoulder height, turn the palms down, the feet out. And then step the feet together. And that is the feminine pumps. We probably should have started this at the beginning of the challenge so that we'd have 30 days to get better at it. Okay, note taken for next time. But I really wanted to show you sort of the more advanced kind of energy work in Qigong that we have in this system. And this really is more advanced practice, and you really do need to do the other stuff for a longer period of time for this kind of material to like really take root and make sense. But I wanted to also show you the kind of the play, the combinatorial play, right? So we have these different centers, and they're associated with different animals, but then we work with the centers themselves without worrying too much about the animals and focusing more on the masculine and feminine qualities of each of the centers. So there's back and forth play. It introduces a way of thinking that is more systemic. It's more about how systems work, than it is about linear process. And so I wanted to show this physical exercise. Okay, so let's do the bow of the Earth Dragon one more time. And after having done this exercise, your body should feel quite a bit different in physically, but also a more subtle energetic quality as well. And so let's do the bow, boa and tiger, and So what I really liked about doing it this last time was, and this is that, as I was doing the bow, I didn't do it in my normal tiger way of doing it. I didn't do it in my normal boa way of doing it. I got a chance to play with the packages of the membranes a little bit. And so I was exhaling and contracting the ones that contract when you exhale, but there was a little bit more of an emphasis, and my body was responding. It was responding to that, and it just gave the feeling of the Earth Dragon bow a different sense, a different quality. That's another reason for going through the pumps and the membranes, is that, if you're just doing the external arm waving, it's just arm waving. What gives purpose to the movement is what you're doing, of course, mentally with your consciousness, what kind of imagery you're evoking, but then also how you're micro-adjusting the different cavities of your body as you're inhaling and exhaling. And as you build that bridge between what you're doing physically and what you're doing cognitively and consciously or phenomenologically, what you're doing cognitively, that relationship between the cognitive and the physical builds, and it just adds a layer of depth to your everyday moment-to-moment awareness. Okay, so that was a lot today. I'll cover it again tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last day. Hey, today's day 29. Tomorrow is day 30 of our 30-day challenge. Woohoo! You did it! Yay! I feel like I should be giving out prizes. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. So please join me tomorrow for our last day. I hope that you found this useful and enjoyable and informative and a step out of your normal routine. And we'll be here again. Tomorrow's Tuesday, so 4:30. Sorry again about coming 15 minutes early today. I forgot I'd had an appointment. But it won't happen again. Okay. So same time, same channel. So from WBOA in Santa Cruz, California, this is Stephen Macramala, and thank you so very much for being part of our 30-day Unleash the Dragon challenge. Bye for now.